They talking about making industry music. They want me to count to y'all, but I ain't gonna count to y'all because y'all went there when they...
Still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. With the echoes of Cannon Blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. From the 6. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Now Jones. Rolling to his right. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. Little glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to get a copy of their defensive scouting report going into the week? Because that's been stressed the whole time. Keep him bottled up. Keep him in the pocket. But it's the first drive of the game and emotions are running high. Someone forgot that, trying to make a big play and gave up a bigger one instead.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
Throwing Jones. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Former Seminole back home in Florida. It's Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Well, this defense for the Buccaneers, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board. And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw.
They're going right back to Hamler. And the Vikings are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Cook is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Again, it's Cook.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This Tampa Bay defense, they held strong on the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point splits the uprights.
And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
Fielded right around the 8. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field. Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
A big play there on the catch and run.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Jones. And he pulls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bucs have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll look to throw here. Eluding and a big loss here as he's taken down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. This pass caught by Hamler. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
This will be fielded at the 17. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Off the play fake. Jones. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best play is just up from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
From the 6. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Extra point attempt here still to come. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
They're going to look to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Back to throw here. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return.
And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it could be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, Jones going deep downfield for Ross. They've got his man complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. John Ross, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are able to widen their lead here in this 1st half.
It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch, take it to the house.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Two minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. On the ground, it's Cook. just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door. Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is right there. It's good. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? When everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Operating from the gun, Jones. They're looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now back to throw. Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
First down, here's the run with Cook. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Devin White gets him for a loss of a yard, and it will bring up 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down.
With the score where it is, this was probably going to be 4-down territory if they didn't convert there. But what a nice job of working his way open, making sure he secured the catch, and setting up 1st and goal.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's their quarterback. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Off play action. Jones. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Hands it off out of the gun. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Jones throwing on 1st down. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5, that's a whale of a game. Jones now to throw on 3rd down. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a 1st down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
A gain of 14. 1st down, Vikings.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. It's complete to Cook. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he'll throw this one away, but I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
And this one's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Finds a Siemens. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. Flushed out right. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Now Jones off the play fake. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era when we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Eluding the pressure right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. John Ross, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Buccaneers are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage. The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They start the drive with Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. And this is Cook with the grab. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Flush to his right. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know. I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Second and 9 now. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Buccaneers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Facing this fourth-quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 2nd down at 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Throwing Jones. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. That'll bring up 4th down after back-to-back-to-back 3-yard pickups. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. They'll look to throw here on first down. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Stays on his feet. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defense